Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have a fairly balanced rack, and my opponent has changed, which leaves me with the task of going first. Lifeboat through an E, but obviously no E available since I'll be going first. Is there a compound word? Not that I can see. I have the bale. I have bat, philo-bat, loft, bio-flat. No, not seeing a 7, so I'll go with fob for 16. That's a pretty good pickup. I will surely have a bingo here. Isolate currently plays in column J and still plays there. No front hooks for Dan. I have isolate underneath. Let's see what this scores. 75 or 68, yeah. So I'll go for the... Actually, I've got the shin ending as well. Let me just consider solation. So isolation, but not isolation. Yeah, I'll just go with isolate here. That looks okay for 75. And I draw some duplicates. A couple of N's, PMY, so a little bit clunky. Almost unmanly if the P was an L. Opponent scores very well with the Q. 29. Well, not very well, but well enough. For a moment I thought the Q was on the triple letter square going 2 directions, but just one above. Now let me have a look at what's on offer with this rack. Can't extend QI down to the double word square. I have Penny. Penny, is it Penny? Not a great rack leave. Noi and Yam. 32 looks okay. Not a great rack leave, but I do have the UN synergy. That goes well together. Actually, I didn't consider the ism hook. So, a play of no, I can't extend it with no, I think Yam is fine there. I was looking at chin plays and then NY, but can't go much further. Not a great pickup. U and V, dreadful combo. The Z does provide scoring potential, but not with such an inflexible rack. Opponent's changed, and I'll do the same. Yeah, there's nothing worth playing there that keeps these tiles, so I will exchange. I might actually keep... Do I keep the Z? Yeah, the Z represents really good scoring potential, and I'll keep that. So, that's a lot better. Still far from bingo territory. But, okay, opponent does bingo. Very nice. I have Zex here, which will pretty much cancel out opponent's bingo. Is there a better play with the Z? Not that I can see. Okay, clunky consonants still to deal with. Bivia, I believe, is one way of sorting out the rack. Currently don't see a spot for Bivia. My F and B do play above 1, so Fab, not a great rack leave, quite shocking in fact. 21. Can I play down from the U? Not to good effect. Okay, Vax is good, but no 3-letter play. Beginning with, I guess I've got Fob here. Terrible rack leave, but 35 points, hard to turn down. That's pretty poor. Viva. Invar onto an R. Viva is probably just about worth doing if I can get 14 points for it or something like that. Probably 12 over here. Oh no, the V gets tripled, so it will be about 20. That's definitely better than changing. Okay, 3 I's. Tying is good. And yeah, the extra 2 I's I'll have to deal with. Inti is good. My Y doesn't play anywhere particularly well. Was thinking of words with 2 I's to play through the C. Sighting. That seems okay for 18. Right, we're back to a balanced rack, which is always good to see. And I do have the ism ending. Not quite dynamism. No. Dialis. Miladies. Is that milady? I don't know if it's beladies is good, but milady, I don't know why that's ringing a bell. Anyway, it would pluralize IES, so it certainly wouldn't be a 7. but I wonder if it's good as a 6. What about ladyism? Ladyism. Oh, I've got it one too far across. I don't know if takes an S. No, I didn't think so. That's a shame. Well, ladyism's obviously good, but couldn't find a spot for it. Oh, and look at that. Ladyism almost plays there, but REY no good. Ah. So, back to the drawing board. There are a few words that begin with my myalids? No. What to get rid of here? I think MY is a reasonable dump somewhere. I think dials is a pretty good rack leave, actually. I might just go for score. Yams and noise for 40. Pretty balanced, a little bit vowel heavy. Sealy, unsealy, but D, have the DE prefix. Can't seem to get that to sit. Yelled is good. A little bit vowel heavy, but I don't think yeed is, yeed is good like that. It's good with EA as well. That's the one I'm more familiar with. Back to triple I. So I thought after playing off DEE and leaving SEL, or what was it? No, it was SILE. That was actually quite a nice rack leave. And then picking up IUI was a stroke of bad fortune. Now, there's some good bingo lanes on this board now. Along onto the T, ending in N, from the D, underlapping Ray. So I might actually, in this case, exchange IUI. The rest of the rack is pretty flexible. Let's see how we go. Okay, gollies. Gollies, I don't know if that's good. The double L does restrict the choices one has generally. Have the oil component. Oil legs, not a thing. Have the ISO prefix. geo prefix. Geocell. No. Gollies is the only one that's jumping to mind. I have the shin ending, but as previously mentioned, the double L really limits what you can do with the rack. Opponent taking some time with this move. Okay. Gollies. Yeah, that's fine. I draw the J. And not fantastic vowels for the J, although detonate. Nice. Opponent scores well. I've got Aji here for 54. That looks alright. And then opponent has close to a bingo, actually. Throw. No, not seeing a bingo there. So let's look at what I can do with my rack. Do I have a 5 or a 6? I don't see a 5 with this rack. I have Irid. I have pair here for 22. Can I improve on 22? Euripi from an E. No E available. Dup and Po. 22. Okay, opponent takes my preferred spot. Can I go out with IRI? Lurry. 2 spots there. Both might be blocked, but I imagine my opponent will go out anyway. Dup for 22. Any other spots for IRI? Okay, he's taken my spot there. GR, rig. So he's got rig there. Okay, I don't think he can go out in another spot, but I can't seem to really block that rig spot. I'll just go with red here. Gives me an extra 8 points. Nothing wrong with that. Share, but no, nothing to go under there. Yeah, this looks okay. And then opponent should go out with rig there, or gur. Ah, okay. Gave him a few extra points there. So, thank my opponent. And let's see what we missed. It was my opponent to go first. Opium, terrible rack leave, 24. He went with an exchange, understandably so. Fob for 16 or flob for 18. Not much in it. Dan for 13 was opponent's play. Ding for 15 again, very close. Isolate for 75 seems fine. Chin for 29, but cheese for 41. Getting the pluralizing fob, so cheese and fobs. Chin for 29, okay. And then Yap for 32 under there, and I went with Yam for 32. Much of a muchness. Opponent exchanged, could have got 8. Exchange seems fine. And then I was also pretty dire rack. 16 for punt at 12F. Damp and punt. Yeah, I do prefer that to changing, definitely. I didn't identify the P hook there for dam. So, yeah, slight miss there with the exchange. I kept the Z for scoring potential though. Sourced for 79, that seems fine for opponent. And then Zex for 63, kind of good comeback score. Opponent had a good rack here, but no bingos on offer. Went with Tack for 30. And, oh, wait a minute. I did not consider the A hook, and now that I look at it, it's so obvious to me. And having identified Bivia on my rack, that was really remiss of me to overlook the A hook for tack, a word I've played many times before. Okay, so Fob 35, a few points less, but Bivia a much better rack leave than after Fob. Tuba for 29 was opponents, and making take as well. That seems fine. And then Viva for 20, that's okay. Tubercule, as in tuberculosis. Tubercule, 48, keeping your blank, wow. Extending tuber onto the triple word, nice. Not often you get to play 48 points and keep the blank on your rack, so that would have been best. He went with curve. Yite for 21, decent rack leave. Sighting for 18. Where was Yite? 01. Okay, yep. That would have been quite nice, keeping the ing ending and one extra I. I do like that. I went with sighting, and then opponent with a nice rack, but no bingos available. Zell for 12, keeping a good rack leave and retaining the one and only Val on the rack. But he went with Ray. Dismail. Milady was good, the one that I had mentioned earlier, but dismail is a word. I looked at the rack and I thought there's definitely a 7 in here. And ladyism was the one, and I thought there's another play, but that's just to show where it would have played. Yeah, dismail, nice. But instead I went with yams, and then twin for 9, but pun for 17 at 14F. Okay, but it's kind of risky. Yeah, because earn takes the S, and there was one to come and a blank, but he had the blank, I suppose, so the risk was less. But still quite volatile for 17 points. As it happens, I did have an S, the S, case S. And Yeed seems fine for 24. Yeed, EDE, good as well. Non-Nupal. Nice bingo there. And non-plus, also available. Opponent didn't spot those. Went with nope. And then I was in vowel trouble again here. Ilius for 24 at 14J. Making chi. That's quite nice. Does provide a bingo lane with the blanks unseen. So not a fan of that. I exchanged and kept a really strong rack. Opponent had a few different bingos there. Failed to see them. Danazol, that's quite nice. I like that. And then Gollies for 70 at 4C seems fine. Nano B, Neonate, Peonage, Pereion. Yeah, there were a few bingos there. Most of them starting from 14I actually. So cross there. Detonate was spotted. Nice bingo by opponent. And then Agi seems fine for 54. Judd for 58. Urda, of course. Okay. Worse rack leave, but slightly more points. I prefer that rack leave when it's close. Always go for the rack leave. 27 for Hugh, 30 on offer for Wee at H1. Okay. WHEE. Nice score. And then Upgird for 24. Through that would have sorted a lot of it out. Upgird, and I would have certainly gone out with I on the next turn, and that scored well, so that was a bit of a miss. But Up scored 22, so it wasn't bad. Griot for 7, Trigo for 7. Opponent just blocked my Liri play in both spots, and I just went with opponent. I went with red, and then opponent grrr. So pretty good game. Some interesting racks to consider, vowel heavy ones, a few exchanges, but all in all a pretty good game. Hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.